the ancestral thing, it is the biggest lie ever sold.
Then that would mean God is a liar.
Why? How is God a liar?
He introduces himself as God of the not God of the dead. But when he introduces himself to Moses, he says he's God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yeah.
So doesn't that mean at some point God acknowledges ancestors?
He acknowledges somebody who was able to figure out that he is God. Remember this. He is only saying, remember the Bible, every scripture has got a particular message. Now, if we're going to draw from this scripture to say that it was not about ancestors. What the Bible,
Yes,
what the Bible was trying to teach us with that particular scripture. It was not to say ancestors have a role, like maybe we must follow them. You understand? It was just acknowledging somebody who could figure out that God is. We are back to this.
Master Pity, would you agree with me if I was to say at some point God did something because of ancestors?
Yes.
Because remember, he says to, now I forgot the names. He says to a man, I won't do this to you because of your ancestors. So he was honoring what ancestors did with him.
Yeah, but remember, that was Solomon. God was saying to Solomon, I'm not going to tear the kingdom in your hands
Because of
your father. Now you must remember, there is favor that God gives us while we are alive. And there is a favor. Now that is a big favor. That is concerning the entrance into heaven. Now, about the kingdom, God was saying, I'm not going to tear the kingdom from your hands. So that is a favor that Solomon got while he was still alive.
Because of
Yeah, but remember the favors that we have while we are still alive. They got nothing to do with the biggest favor that allows you to enter heaven. Let that sink. So those are two different things. You can have favors in this world. You live a normal life and then you don't struggle, you don't do, but if you are going to forfeit heaven, then that is the biggest lie you have ever heard.
Master Pity, we saying what God said, I won't tear up the kingdom because of your father, right? If I say I won't kill your child because of you, and I honoring you or something between us. If I say to your child, I won't kill you because of your father, and I honoring something between us.
You are.
So isn't
that is
why
that is why at the beginning at the beginning I said, when you decide to sin, you must think of your future children.
True.
But that doesn't mean that if my father was a murderer, I'm automatically not going to be in heaven. I'm in my lineage, in my descendants, there will be somebody who will see God and then who will know God for who he is. You understand? Because what are we promised? We are promised that we enter heaven through Jesus Christ. So everyone, even if your father was a murderer doing all the evil things, but you can still change along the way as a descendant. Even if you were exposed to those evil things that your father and your forefathers were doing, if you can, with your mind, change and say, I want to follow, I want to go to this Bible, you will automatically change.